strongly disagree. All right, okay. Okay, so I mean, like, why do you think that he would be good for the US?
Well, his first term was better than Biden's term. Much
In
better.
in what way?
Every single way. No wars, better economy.
What wars did Joe Biden start?
He didn't start any wars, but they happened while he was in office.
Okay, well, I mean, lots of things happened
And
whilst he was
America
in
is the
office.
police of the world.
They like to think that they are, but that's not an official like position that they have been granted by the UN or by the World Health Organization or by the EU or by any sort of actual governing body. So I don't know why you would.
They'd get involved in every single war in the world that happens.
They do, but that doesn't mean that they still have not been granted or been given that position by any governing body. So,
Where Trump is the man, right?
okay, can
You know it.
Can you
Come on, Steve, you know it.
can you? I don't. So can I mean like? Can you tell me why? Because like,
He's what he stands for. He's a beacon of strength. He's stronger than Sleepy Joe. Do you understand? Like, do you really think Kamala would be better in office now than Trump? Do you think that?
yes, absolutely,
Oh, Jesus Christ, Stephen. Come on, man.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I mean, like, what was your favorite? What was your favorite thing that Trump ran on this election cycle? Like what was
Getting
the
rid
thing
of
that?
this woke bullshit, right? He's helped big time with the getting transgenders out of women's sports. Do you agree?
Look, I'm sure all 15 of them were very upset, but you know, it's not really an.
Come on, Steve, you agree. Come on,
I mean,
just say
like
you
it's
agree.
not really that much of an issue. Again, it's all 15 of them, so you know, again, I'm sure that they're very upset, but it's
Come on, Steve. Do you really think men should be in women's sports, Steve? Come on.
well, men are not in women's sports. Trans women are
Well,
in women's
men
sports, but
with
sure, but
no, I don't. Not they're trans, but they literally have the strength of a man. Right? They're a man.
okay, so not all of them do. Because if you go through puberty blockers before you reach an age where you can go into puberty, and then you are on estrogen if you are born male, then and then go through only female puberty, when you kind of test the hormone levels, when you test the strength ability, the muscle density, all of these sorts of things, it's basically on par. It's within the margin of error of being on par with a cis woman. So there's like it's a negligible difference.
What about in the triathlon, the transgender man that smashed the world record by 4.5 hours, and the transgender man in the weightlifting smashed it by over 400 pounds? And them records are done forever.
Okay, I mean, like, gut reaction is going to tell me that those numbers are a little bit exaggerated, but
you can look it up.
I sure will. Can you define woke for me?
Just pushing transgenderism, pushing all of these things that are just, they're not good for the world, man. Transgenderism, literally, that's what it is. Like, that's mostly what it is.
Okay, so how are people pushing transgenderism?
They're letting it in sports, for one. They're teaching it in schools, for another.
Teaching it? How?
Well, not, I wouldn't say teaching.
How are you
but
teaching it?
They're talking about it.
Well, they talk about lots of things in school.
They shouldn't be. I don't think they should talk about transgenderism in school.
So,
they're too young. They shouldn't be told about that.
I mean, like, can you agree that trans people exist?
What do you mean? What do you mean trans people exist now?
That I mean, there is no kind of hidden motive behind it, man. Trans people exist. You like do acknowledge that
I
there are
think
trans
I
men and there
think
are trans women on
if you're a
Earth
man
right
and
now.
if you're a man, you got a procedure done to be a woman. I still don't think you're a woman. I still think that you're biologically a man.
Well, I'm sure they don't really care what you think, but I do want to know though. Do
Well, you
you
asked me the question,
believe?
didn't you? And I answered it.
Yeah, but you didn't answer the question that I asked though, because you
I literally
answered
did,
the
though.
no, but you didn't, because the question that you answered was, should they care about what you think? And they're not here, so we can't speak for them. So what I asked you was, do you acknowledge that trans men and trans women exist on Earth?
I acknowledge that. Let me think how to answer this.
That somebody who calls themselves a trans woman or a trans man, that they exist on Earth. That should
They
be
exist as a
that
person.
should be the easiest question that you're ever going to be asked.
They exist as a person, but if that
Right.
trans,
So
say now, let's say now, right, this let's say you'd call it a trans woman, like they were a man before but now they're a woman. I'll still look at that person and I will say that they're a man. I would not call them a woman. I'd say you are seriously something wrong with your brain. You need to get checked.
okay. So do you not think that teachers should be teaching children about what happens and who exists within society? So I mean, like, just for example, I mean, like, Asian people exist, right?
They've existed like
Yeah. So
that's a race. See,
you and I are
that's a
both.
race.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you and I are both Irish. I can pick that up from the accent. Do you think that, like, before there was any Asian people in Ireland, do you think that Irish teachers should be teaching Irish students that Asian people exist, because they're a fact of reality, right?
Yeah, but that's a race.
Right, but
Completely different story here.
no, because you're confusing the map for the place, man. Stick with me. So teachers should be teaching students about who exists, about a group of people that exists on Earth. So if Asian people exist, then you should be teaching people Asian people exist, trans people exist, so you should be teaching them that trans people exist.
I don't know.
It's just I mean, it's just the facts of reality, man.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't think they were teaching this stuff on, let's say, not even 50 years ago in school about trans people, were they?
I mean, like, I'm only turning 30 this year, so I can't speak to what was being taught or what wasn't being taught 50 years ago, mainly just because I wasn't here, so I can't really speak to that.
I really don't think it was, to be honest. I don't think it was. I really don't.
Maybe not. The point is that, do you not think that, okay, so when do you think that, like, trans people came into existence? As in, is it in the last 10 years, 15? Is it only in the last 5?
It's been happening a long time, but like, I think back in the day, let's say 1950, you see a fucking person walking around transgender, everybody is looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Nowadays, it's completely normal. They're all over the gaff, and I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm in total agreement with you, man. There was an awful lot of bigoted people 50 years ago. Unfortunately, some of them have stuck around.
What do you mean, like, bigoted people? Like the trans people?
No, I mean people who would stop and stare and point and laugh at a trans person.
No, I wouldn't stop and point at them. I just look at them and think, like, what the fuck have you done to yourself? Do you get me? But if they're happy,
my point.
then yeah, but like, I don't know. I just don't
Like, that is an extremely bigoted way of thinking, man. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, man. I think there's seriously something wrong with these people that are turning trans, or else they're being very misled.
Misled by who?
They're just people might be making them think that they're not what they are. Like, you're a man, accept it. You have a pair of balls. Do you know what I mean? Like, how can you have a pair? How can you have a pair on you and then think, I think I'm a woman. I actually think I'm a woman. Like, you are a fucking man. You have a pair of bollocks between your legs.
Okay, what is a man?
A man. Man, what kind of a question is that, honestly? Like, what is a man?
Yeah.
You are a man. I'm a man.
But I mean, like, is it purely off of like just looks?
I think if you have a pair of balls, you're a man.
Okay, I don't know if I'm the first person to bring this up to you, but you do know that trans men's bottom surgery includes giving them a pair of balls, right? You are aware
That's
of that.
disgusting. That's disgusting, man.
Well, my dude, I hate to break it to you, but you're the one who brought it up.
Right. Well, these trans men, there's something wrong with them. It's more something wrong with their brain, their way of thinking. Do you get me? Nice, thanks, Den Bros. You're a legend. So you say, what's a man? A man is, do you know what I mean? Like, just, you're born. So all right, I'll answer the question. A man is someone who's born with a fucking pair of balls, and they grow up, go through their whole life, and they never switch over. They never make that horrible, horrible mistake.
Right. So I just want to play a little bit of a thought experiment then with you. If you, I, or somebody else are in some form of a horrific accident and end up losing said crown jewels, are they still a man? Or are they no longer a man now because they don't have them?
Right, let me think. Yeah, you're still a man, like, obviously, but if you don't, that's just
so
stupid.
You
man.
Agree then that somebody can be categorized as a man even though they don't have a pair of balls?
But see, like, that's just a stupid fucking some like thing that you just made up. Like, do you know what I mean? They're still a man.
I'm sorry, you don't think that
you're talking about like
something stupid that I made up? Are you
really,
honestly saying like, that doesn't happen?
You're just like bringing up the most random events ever to try and win this, but it's not happening,
dude.
buddy.
It's not about it's not about winning and losing, my dude. It's like that's just not what it's about, like, even at all. All
right, a man is someone who's born as a male, right? They're born as a male. You are a man. Let's say you're a man, and 20 years later you decide you want to be a woman. Fucking weirdo. And then you transition to a woman. You're not a woman. You are a man. And if you're a woman, born a female, and you transition to a man 20 years later, you're not a man. You're still a woman.
Right. So would you look at Buck Angel and say that right there is a woman?
What's Buck Angel?
Give me 2 moments. Just 2 moments. That's literally all that this will take.
2 seconds.
When you're back, just let me know.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Take your time, dude.
Go on.
Okay, you back?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that right there is a woman?
No. I'm not fully back. Yeah, hold on. Let me see.
That right there, is that a woman?
Well, we're living in a day and age. You don't know what it is, man. But it looks like a man from the outside.
Yeah.
Let me guess.
Yeah, that is Buck Angel, probably one of the world's most, one of the world's more famous trans men. But you said that they look like a man.
Good job, isn't he?
Yeah, but you said he looks like a man. So, okay.
Yeah, that's the whole fucking point of transgenderism, isn't it? To make it look like a man.
Presume that I hadn't told you that he was born as female. Under some of the proposed, thankfully not yet implemented, but proposed policies that Trump has implemented, he would want him to use the female bathroom. Do you honestly imagine that a woman who does not know who he is going to feel comfortable if he walked into the woman's bathroom? Which he should do. Under your logic and under what Trump wants to do is to use the bathroom of your biological sex. So would you?
But see, that's where you're wrong, Steve, because he's already transitioned. He's already taken testosterone, right? He's already he's took stuff to make himself look like that. Mm-hmm. He doesn't naturally look like that, you know that.
Yes,
he doesn't look like that.
Yes, I understand that. But what Trump wants to do is to make it so that you are to go into the bathroom of your biological sex, which means that he would be legally obligated to go into the women's bathroom. Do you think that women who don't know who he is are going to be comfortable seeing him walking into the women's bathroom?
They wouldn't be comfortable, no. But whoever done that fucking surgery on him did a very good job, didn't they, Stephen?
Yeah, I would imagine.
He must have paid a lot of fucking money for that.
Possibly. We will never know.
That is probably the fucking most accurate thing I've ever seen in my life of making someone into a man. I want to see what he looks like before. What the fuck? Because most trans men, how do I say it? Fucking women turned men. And it just looks shambolic. Like they don't even look what, like I'm looking at them like, what the fuck even is that? Like, is it a woman or is it a man? If you're going to be trans, you need to be one of two.
Well, I mean, if you don't know, you could just ask them, right?
Well, then they're probably offended.
If you're looking at a person and you don't know whether to address them with male pronouns or with female pronouns, then like you could just ask
I
them,
can tell.
Right?
No, like I can tell they're trans. Like, do you know what I mean? I can tell they're trans, but like it's like, Jesus Christ, man, who was the surgeon? Like, do you know what I mean? It didn't really work out well. Like, you still look like a girl, even though you're trying to transition to a man. Like, it's a mixture of two.
Right, yeah, you've probably seen people who are on a transitioning journey. It's probably what you've seen.
And what I would think looking at them is that they are mentally ill. There's something wrong with them. Like, why do you think you are the other gender? You are born either male or female. I think it's something you just have to accept it, really, isn't it?
It's something that people always had to accept, but thankfully we don't have to do that now, because most of us have moved on from this archaic idea that you are either born one or the other.
No, I think that's just common sense, man. That's common sense.
Unfortunately, you're just wrong, my dude, because if you want to go with common, then you are by definition appealing to the majority, and the majority are okay with trans people, or at least know the difference between sex and gender.
I don't think the majority are okay with trans. Well, they're okay with them, but I think the majority just find it fucking stupid.
Well, if the majority are okay with them, as you have just
I can
admitted,
live in a world
then by definition, it's not common sense to think otherwise.
I really do think that it's common sense that you are either born with a pair of balls or a vagina, and if you have a vagina, you're a female, and if you have a pair of balls, you're a male.
Mm. So I mean, is it just? Is it just based on genitals, on sex organs? Is that all it's based on?
Right, because now you're going to say, what if they're born without a pair of balls? Is that what you're going to say?
Well, no, I mean, not necessarily. I was going to go down the chromosome route, honestly, or the XYXX.
I just think you're born male or female.
Do you know which one is which, by the way?
What?
Do you know which one is which?
Do I know which one is which?
Yeah.
Do I know which one is male and which one is female?
No. Do you know XX or XY? Which one is male?
I don't know about that. What's that? I don't know the intricacies. Like, I just know fucking male, female, man, woman, boy, girl. This is very common fucking stuff here, Stephen, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, that's kind of the problem, is that you, like, unfortunately, and you can take this as offensively as you wanted to, you have
Muck Savage, I know, is a stupid question, isn't it?
You have an unbelievably rudimentary idea of these fundamental and extremely complicated ideas. There is an entire field of study dedicated to the difference between sex and gender. If you want to just dismiss them,
look, Trump is killing wokeness.
Sure, you can. Killing wokeness, how, my dude?
He's getting rid of it, by. He's getting rid of it. He's taking fucking men out of women's sports. He's taking them out of the bathrooms. He's getting rid of it. Trump is the fucking man. He's abolishing all of Biden's shameful policies. And he...
Shameful policies such as what?
Jesus Christ, man.
You can keep appealing to him. I don't think he's going to come down, though.
What you mean?
I mean, you can keep asking for Jesus's help. I don't think he's going to give you any, though.
Do you know who is, though? Do you know who's going to help America? Trump. He's going to help. Steve, would you say you're far left?
No, I'm still waiting on your example of an abysmal policy that Biden implemented.
Letting millions and millions and millions of people cross the border.
Except that just didn't happen.
Oh, it didn't happen, did it?
No.
So all right, so Steve, you're wrong.
Okay.
What about 10,000 soldiers Mexico sent to the border? What about that?
Yeah,
didn't do that with Biden, did they?
Okay, so even if those numbers were correct, that's not a policy position. So what is an abysmal
doesn't matter.
policy?
It's still getting it done, isn't it?
No, it absolutely does matter, because that's the question that I asked you. What is a policy position that Biden held or passed that you feel is abysmal?
Transgender men in women's sports.
That was already the case before Biden took office. What is a policy?
He should have got rid of it. But he led it.
What is it? So did Trump during his first term. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's getting rid of it now, isn't he?
Policy did Biden pass or promote to get passed that you feel is abysmal? I'm not letting this go.
Right. Let me think. Right. What policy did Biden pass? Right. Listen now, right? I'm not gonna say a policy, but what about the hundreds of billions of dollars he sent over to Ukraine?
In old and outdated weapons that were going to be scrapped anyway? Yeah, why wouldn't he do that?
And money? Are you going to say
very, very little of it was like actual like currency dollars. It was estimated as a value in dollars, of course, but I mean, like the vast majority of the aid that he sent there was in old military equipment, as in old jets, old tanks, old guns, ammunition, all of this sort of stuff.
And that's what they left in Afghanistan. That's what they left in Afghanistan as well.
Yeah, I've been on the record before of saying that the pullout of Afghanistan was horrendous.
Trump won't do something like that.
You
do you know he's already bombing? He's already bombing.
You do know that
ISIS.
Trump started the pullout of Afghanistan, right?
Yeah, and Biden finished it horribly, didn't he?
Yeah, and why do you think that is?
Why do I think that the pullout was shit? Because
Yeah.
13 people died and loads were
No, no, no,
other
no, no,
people
no,
arms
no,
blown
no,
off.
no, no, no. Just no. Stop. Why do you
Hey, stop
think?
now, Stephen.
Why do you think
Relax.
that Biden handled that situation terribly?
Why do I think? I already said it, but I'll say it again. 13
No,
people
that's
died.
no,
Over
that's
hundreds.
that's what happened in the process before the process began when Biden took office on the 13th of January 2021 and started the process, continued the process of pulling out. Why do you think it went so badly?
Because Biden is a fucking sleepy man who needs to be in a care home.
Okay, so it wasn't because Trump didn't have any sort of communications with him at all to let him know what process or like what stages of the deal were. Of course, I'm going to blame him because he
Of
didn't meet
course,
with him
because
and he didn't
you're
tell
far
him.
left, and
Because
you
he
like
because he
sleepy,
didn't
sleepy.
meet him and he didn't speak with him about what stages had or had not been done. He didn't tell him about what the kind of about what sort of talks were in process, what stage of the pullout they were at. He didn't tell him anything.
Were you there?
What do you mean? Was I there?
Were you there? How do
I
you
don't
know?
have to be there. Do you
Where's
do you
your
not
source,
understand that this is that everything a president does in so far as all of these sorts of public actions and like this exact sort of thing is not one of the most highly documented and like just documented things that happen? Do you not understand that?
I understand, Steve. Don't worry about it. Let me ask you a question, right?
You
think Biden was better than
but
Trump?
you can ask your question anyway. What was your question?
Do you think Biden was better than Trump?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, even though Biden was falling all around the place, man. Couldn't speak a word. Couldn't fucking string a sentence, Steve, man.
Yeah.
He wasn't a president. He wasn't. I know he wasn't calling the shots. He could barely fucking walk. He could barely fucking talk to an audience. Look at the amount of media coverage that Trump is doing right now from the Oval Office, sitting down at the desk. He's done more in 2 weeks, 3 weeks than Biden has done in 4 years.
You got any more of your talking points or?
No, I think I won that debate. I think I won that debate, Steve. Thanks, though.
No, you didn't. Oh, Jesus Christ. I could hear the YouTube videos that I like literally I could list them if I wanted to. The YouTubers that he watches. Jesus Christ. How you doing? What's your name, age, and pronouns?
Age and pronouns, that's funny.